Okay, assalamu alaikum everyone. So this is the last question of March 2024 exam series AS Economics paper 1, rather paper 2. So this is the AS Economics paper 2 March 2024 exam series. I have already explained and showed you all the questions and answers of answer from section A and B and question number 4 of section C as well. If you are interested to watch those videos, then go to the playlist of AS Economics paper 2 and then you can watch these videos as well. So now I'm going to explain you question number 5. Again, question number 5 part A and B both will require you to write down assessment objective 1, 2 and 3. Okay, assessment objective 1 provides basic knowledge and understanding, and assessment objective 2 is analysis, and assessment objective 3 is evaluation. Okay, so the question says that with the help of an aggregate demand and aggregate supply diagram, when examiner use the word diagram, then you have to make graph as well. If you don't do that, then you can't get 8 out of 8 marks. Maximum you can get 6 or 5 out of 8 marks. If your answer is perfect, then you can get maximum 6 if you don't make graph. Explain how decrease in interest rates could cause economic growth and consider whether economic growth will always result in inflation. So here first of all you have to identify the knowledge points and then describe those knowledge points and then move on to the analysis part. So here we have economic growth as a knowledge point, and we have another term that is inflation, and definitely interest rate is also an economic term. Economic growth refers to the rise in real GDP per capita over time, like generally it is a period of 1 year, and like inflation refers to the persistent rise in general prices over time. Interest rate is cost of borrowing and it is a reward for saving. If you get loan from financial institutions, you have to pay interest, that is cost for you, and if you save money in the bank account, you will get interest on that, that is reward for saving for you. So these are basic terms. You have described them in the first paragraph, and in the second paragraph what you can do is you can now connect the impact of decrease in interest rate on economic growth and inflation. So when interest rate is low, consumers will consume more, investors will invest more, and net exports may also increase, x minus m, that is net export. So as a result, overall aggregate demand will increase, because aggregate demand is the sum of consumption, investment, government expenditure and net exports. When aggregate demand increases, it causes economic growth in the short run. However, price level also increases. And as an evaluation point, you will say that in the long run period of time, in the short run, this is correct that fall in interest rate will increase demand pull inflation, and it will increase economic growth as well. You will have to make the graph of aggregate demand and supply and shift aggregate demand curve to the right as well. Okay, so I'll show you the answer, complete answer of this question as well. And next you have to say that as an evaluation point, and that will end at a conclusion and final judgment, that fall in interest rate may not increase economic growth, may not cause economic growth if the economy has already reached its full capacity or full potential or full employment level. When aggregate supply curve, long run aggregate supply curve becomes vertical straight line. Now increase in aggregate demand will cause inflation, increase inflation, but economic growth cannot increase. So this will be the evaluation point. So let me show you the exact answer that you should reproduce in your exam. So this is question number 5 part A. You can start reading the answer, stop the video, read the answer thoroughly, and yeah, so here you can see that economic growth is increasing because GDP is increasing due to high aggregate demand, caused by lower interest rate, but price level is increasing here, inflation is increasing, and this is short-term aggregate supply. So it happens in short run कि increase in aggregate demand due to lower interest rate will cause inflation and economic growth both. But in conclusion, you will have to say that it depends on whether we are operating in the short run or in the long run. In the long run, if economy has reached the full capacity, then increase in aggregate demand due to low interest rate will not cause economic growth. However, it will accelerate the rate of inflation. Moving back to the question paper, that is part B. Part B is really simple question. You have to assess whether economic growth is always desirable to an economy. So again, you have to give knowledge point and then analyze them and then evaluate them. Evaluation is basically the limitation of the analysis. So here, first of all, you will pick the basic term, that is economic growth. You will define economic growth refers to the rise in real GDP per capita over time, and it is divided into two types: actual economic growth and potential economic growth. Actual economic growth is when we move from inside the PPC towards PPC, and it is because of increase in employment or employment of previously unemployed resources. Potential economic growth is when PPC completely shifts to the right. You have to properly label these graphs, completely labeled graph, right? So I'm just to save time, I'm not properly labeling it because I have already produced the answer, and I'll show you those answers as well. So actual growth is when unemployment decreases, and potential growth is when overall economic potential of the economy increases. And economic growth is desirable, always desirable or not? So you will first say that it is desirable because it improves other economic indicators like standard of living of the country may increase, employment may increase, crime rate may decrease, and economy may grow further, and producers will also earn high profits. So you will have to analyze any of the 3 points, and then you have to talk against that. If economic growth occurs, it may be undesirable because economic growth may lead to depletion of natural resources because resources may be over exhausted. It causes pollution and negative externalities in the society. Health problems may be caused, and economic growth may increase demand pull inflation as well. And at the end, you will conclude whether it is desirable or not. So I have also produced the answer to this question. This answer is quite bigger. You need not to write that much bigger answer, but I just wrote all the points so that you know what are the advantages and disadvantages of economic growth. So part B answer starts from here. You can take the screenshot and read the answer carefully. I'm showing you the answer, so you can stop the video, read the answer carefully, or if you wish you can take the screenshot as well. Okay, so this is the continuation of the answer is a little bigger, but you need not to write everything I have written here, but you have to write 3 points in favor, showing desirability of economic growth, and 2 points against or 3 points against the desirability of economic growth. Okay, so you can stop the video and take the screenshot or read the answer carefully. Okay, so this is the continuation of the answer, and answer ends here. Okay, so this is the last thing of March 2024 exam series. I'm done with that. So from tomorrow onward, I'll be focusing on the questions of guest paper. Okay, so after doing all the questions of guest paper, if I got some extra time, I'll move on to the latest exam papers of November 2023 as well, and I'll explain you the answers of those questions too. So this is it. See you with the next video. And one important thing I told at the start of the video as well, if you want to get maximum benefit out of this channel, then go to the playlist and see there are so many playlists like this playlist that you are currently watching is AS Economics Paper 2. So if you want to see or watch all the videos relevant to paper 2, then go to that playlist. You will find a complete list and you can play all the videos and watch them in a row. And yeah, you can arrange them in like latest videos first, so that you can see what are the latest most videos that I have posted and that are relevant to the recent exam papers. Okay, so see you tomorrow inshallah. Allah Hafiz.